Hey everyone, so this week we're going to be reviewing the Eryone brand Thinker S printer. This has definitely been on my list of printers I wanted to take a look at for quite a while now. I really like the aesthetics and I've heard really good things about it. So we're going to take a look, see how it's packed in the box, and then we will go ahead and check the print quality. I will show you in a moment how quiet it is. It's printing right now, but I'll show you without me talking so you can see how quiet it is, and we will take a look at a few things. A few things I really like, and then there's two or three small things I wish were a little bit better. Um, pretty much pretty self pretty quick and easy to fix those couple of things. Definitely way more pros than there are cons. So I'm pretty excited to look at this printer with you. All right, let's get started. Alright, just for a quick rundown of the specifications of this printer. This is the S model of the Eryone Thinker. The only difference between the S and the SE is that this has the removable spring steel sheet with the PEI. The SE has the textured glass plate, very similar to what I have on my Tronxy printer over here that's broken again. Um, and the build volume is 300 by 300, 400 millimeters tall. The actual volume of the plate is 310 by 310. Just in case you ever had to order a new spring steel or something, or you changed your mind later and wanted glass, that's the dimension of the bed. It is running on a 32-bit board with a 24-volt power supply, so it heats up pretty fast. I will do a clip here in a moment showing how it heats up from ambient up to 60 and the time on it, as well as the hot end, which heats up pretty fast as well. Um, I think that's really about it as far as specifications. It is a Bowden style printer, single drive extruder, and yeah, it seems to just work. Right out of the box, it's putting out beautiful prints. It did come with a profile for Slicer or Slick 3R, however you prefer to say it, already on the SD card as well as Cura. I was able to import that Slicer profile into Prusa Slicer since they do have the same base code, and it did work. This is actually my profile printing right now as opposed to that one. There was just a few settings I wanted to change, but yeah, that's a quick rundown of the physical specifications of this printer. A glorious beast of a printer that it is. Okay, so unfortunately I don't have any timers handy other than the one built into my phone that can count up. So you can either keep track with the timer at the YouTube controller, but I am going to set this egg timer. It's going to count down from 5, so simple subtraction, and I'll put up the final number when we get there. So we go on the LCD screen, go to prepare. All the way on the bottom is going to be preheat PLA and ABS. So we're going to go to PLA. I'm going to hit start on here. Preheat PLA because I want to test both. Start. Start. Then we're just going to go ahead and let this run, and I will go ahead and speed this up, and we'll see how long it takes when it's done. Okay, so it was 2 minutes exactly for the hot end to get to 200 degrees, and then it was 2 minutes and 34 seconds to get the heated bed up to 60. That is, considering the size, that is pretty admirable speed. Um, the hot end itself does heat up faster if you're not trying to heat the bed simultaneously, and vice versa. But if you're trying to heat up everything at once, that's how long it takes. 2 minutes, and then 2 minutes and 34 seconds to be completely ready to go. Seriously though, how quiet is that? Normally, when I'm trying to record a printer, I have to make sure that it is not printing so you can hear me over it. But not a problem on this one. So, I'm going to take a look at a few of the things that I really do like. Um, I love the look of it with the enclosed base. Um, Aesthetically, I like the ruler lines, but they also serve a neat purpose. So like you see here, it's kind of hard to read it at that angle, but that's right around 10.5. This side you can see is the same. That helps you to know that the extruder gantry, the x-axis, is parallel. Um, so that's definitely good to be able to visualize that. I like the large turn wheels. They are labeled so you can see which direction's up and down. I do like that the bed is actually made out of extrusion, so it's pretty rigid feeling. Also, the screws are a little bit further back from the end, so that when the head is here, for example, doing like the trying to level the bed, you have the room to reach back around to hit the adjuster knob for that corner. So far, no real issues with the extruder. I am used to um, dual drive on all of my other printers. I haven't had a single drive extruder since my ANA A8, but it's printing fine, no issues. Um, I'm gonna have to swap out this piece here if I want to print flexibles, but in the meantime, I've already printed PLA, and I've printed a good bit of PETG with it with pretty good amount of success. As you can see here, other than a little bit of stringing on the PETG, these parts look great. Um, Again, this is just a really buttoned up, clean looking printer. Um, really nothing super bad to say about it. A few of the things I wish were a little bit different were I don't like how the power supply is not attached to anything. It's not a problem, it's just I prefer to be able to pick it up with, you know, pick it up all at once as opposed to having to worry about that being dangling on the side if you have to move the printer. And then also with it being the single drive extruder, it is a little easier for it to skip. I did have an issue with the one print where it was skipping. I just adjusted the tension on the screw that holds the spring, and it's been fine ever since. And then last but not least, I think it might just be as simple as adjusting the voltage a little bit, but every so many prints, the left side of the gantry ends up ever so slightly lower than the right side. I'm guessing that's because that's where the majority of the weight is with the stepper motor back there. This stepper motor over here, this part is definitely heavier. So I think I may just have to turn up the current on this Z motor back here, Z1. But it's not really that big of a deal. You just, with the lines, it makes it really easy to check before you start printing. And then you can just adjust manually with the couplers to make sure it's level before you start your print. And then there's no problems from there on out. And then one of my absolute favorite things about this printer, well, I'll show you after this print is done, is the flexible PEI spring steel sheet. It is removable. Just give it a bend and everything falls right off. Even if it's not all the way cool, parts still release very easily. But it is suggested for sure to wait until it's cooler so we don't burn your hands. Plus, parts that are too warm on the bed might actually bend with it when you try to flex it. I haven't had that problem in this printer, but with my Wham Bam, if I have a large surface area on a print, it will try to bend with the spring steel if it's still too warm. But yeah, other than that, really loving this printer. The wires are all managed pretty well. No concerns there. It's got a nice build volume, and yeah, overall very happy with this machine. Alright, here you can see my Eryone Thinker S. It is printing some clips that I am making for a project for a customer. I'm going to stop talking for a second.
It's unbelievable.
It's a miracle.
Basically, the only thing you can really hear is a very quiet fan. And you can see, get a little bit closer. Nice print quality. This is PETG, so there is a tiny bit of stringing. If you get right up in there, you can see there's a little bit of stringing, but definitely good quality parts. So yeah, so far I'm really happy with this machine. I love how quiet it is. So we'll see how those look when they come off. We'll take a look at the flexible removable build plate as well once that's done. And I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, now this print's done. So as I said, we're going to take a look and see just how great this removable build plate is and how easy it is to get your prints off once the bed is cooled back down to room temperature. So you can see it just pulls right off. The magnets are embedded into the heated bed. Quick bend that way, quick bend that way, and they just, you know, basically fall out. If this was a print with a little bit more surface area, it would literally just come off. I wouldn't need to pull it all, but since these are so small, you know, when you're bending like this, it doesn't put that much torsion on each individual piece. But still, came really clean, really easy. Everything just came right off. When you have a bigger print, like, you can bend it pretty good. It is springy. So there we go. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the other prints that I've gotten off of this machine so far. Alright, so here we have the prints that I have so far off of this machine. I have done other prints, but it was me finishing up a commission, so I no longer have those parts to show you. So these, obviously, I just pulled off the printer. You can see they came out really nice. Strong parts, smooth lines. There is a tiny bit of stringing, but that's to be expected, considering I have not dialed in this profile yet and it's PETG. So no complaints there. Here is an XYZ cube. This one happens to be 30 mils, so zero it out. Measure, so we're at 29.8 on the x-axis, 29.89 on the y, and 30.39 on z. Those are all reasonably within margin of error. This was a pre-sliced model, and there was a slight issue with the plate adhesion. I was a little bit too far away, so that's not a fault of the printer, but that's why this corner's peeled up. Overall, I think the quality is very good. Just a tiny bit of ghosting, but not much. And the top looks nice. Other than the corner, the bottom's smooth as glass. It looks nice. See the light shining on right there. Calibrate a couple steps here and there, and we can get that dialed in even closer. But not bad for stock. Plug it in, set it up. This was another pre-sliced file. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a squirrel. Bring it up, set down the calipers, bring it up, set it a little closer. You can see it's got a nice shine. And mind you, these are all printed with probably a year-and-a-half old generic orange PLA that I just had on hand. It's got like one little string on his ear. Other than that, it looks great. There's this weird, it's like separation here on this bottom layer. I'm not sure if this was something with the extruder or with maybe the G-code file, because this is the only print that happened to, so I'm gonna guess that it's the G-code file, or it might have even possibly been an issue with the filament, because like I said, it was old. So this was the beginning of the print, so it might have just been an issue with the filament. Last but not least, this was, so I don't think it was supposed to, but this printer actually came with 2 micro SD cards. One was already in it, and it had like a bed level test on it. So I almost wonder if that's what they used to test at the factory, because there was some filament in the extruder, so they did definitely test it. But this was part of the bed level test. You can see, get the light on there. You can actually see part of my ceiling in the reflection. That's how glass smooth that bottom is. Sides are really smooth. No complaints. I'm not 100% what the dimensions are supposed to be on this, but we'll measure. So I'm guessing it's supposed to be 20. We're at 19.67. See, yeah, mid 19.6s. But yeah, overall very happy with the way that looks as well. So far, no complaints with the quality of the prints coming off of this machine. You will definitely be seeing it more on the channel. So as I print more things with it, I'll make sure to share. But so far, no complaints, and I'm very happy with the print quality, especially considering it was right out of the box, and little to no tweaking was done to the slicer profile to get these, and very little tweaking will need to be done to get this a little bit more dimensionally accurate. You can actually control that right through the SD or the LCD screen. Sorry. So if you go through here, there's different settings you can change. I believe it's in motion. Yeah, here you go. So if you go under motion, you can change the steps for each extruder or each stepper motor, and as well as the extruder if you need to. So that's how you would do that. That's a problem for a different day. Not worried about that. I know that it can be very easily tuned in. So now we are going to go ahead and see how long it takes to heat up to PLA temperatures of, I think I have it set to 260. So we'll see how long that takes. So another question, would I recommend this printer? Absolutely. I ordered this printer for $469. It was 20% off. So it was, I believe, just about 400 is what I ended up paying. It's really early, late slash early. So don't judge me on the math there. But definitely worth it for the price. The Tronxy X5SA over there, I paid $300 for, and I've had nothing but headaches since day one. I've done a rebuild video on it already, and I have to rebuild it again. But this printer, it has great reviews already, and so far from what I've seen, it is living up to those reviews. Again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, there are a few small things that I would change going forward, or suggest that everyone maybe take into account and maybe release like a V2 like Creality does. So there's just those couple small things. But other than that, I would absolutely recommend this printer to anyone looking for a large print volume, reliable printer. It could be your first printer, it could be your 40th printer. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And guys, real quick, just a quick fix to the one issue that I have with this printer. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 screws, if you loosen those ones up, home the printer, and then make sure, based on the rulers, that they're the exact same height, and then snug up all 6 screws. That actually fixes the issue of the left side being lower than the right by about 1 to 2 millimeters. It was just simple. It probably got jarred a little bit during shipping or what have you, and just took me 5 minutes, and now they're perfectly level. You can see on the video they look, at least within half a millimeter. No issues whatsoever with printing now. You can see those first layers going down very nicely. So I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know about that quick fix. Hey guys, if you have any interest in checking out the Eryone Thinker S or any of their other products, please make sure you check down below. I have an affiliate code with them, as well as a couple others. So if you're interested in getting those, it really helped me out if you would go ahead and click on my links to make those purchases. Thanks for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed my opinion and my review of the Eryone Thinker S. So far, like I said, I'm really happy and I would absolutely recommend it. Make sure that if you want to see more content and more reviews, you go right down there, hit subscribe, and hit the little bell next to it. Really helps the channel to grow, as well as share it with your friends. And always leave a comment down below to let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed what the chef had for you today. Have a good one. Make sure you stay safe. Alright, bye.